Hello, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Hi, I'm Naraya, and I have impulsively decided to make a YouTube channel, or make YouTube videos, if you will. This channel's probably gonna be mostly gaming once I figure out how to do that. But for now, we're gonna talk about stuff, talk what's on my mind. So today I'm gonna be talking about something that I have seen nobody talk about in media: the troubles of asexuality. So I am an asexual person, and I am completely asexual. I feel no sexual attraction whatsoever. None. Zilch. Zero. Now, asexuality is a spectrum. My asexuality is going to be different from someone else's, and that's okay. I understand that not everyone is going to have the same views as me and are going to share the same opinions as me, and I understand that. But don't, by any means, attack other people for liking different things than you do or having a different opinion than you do. Now, with that being said, let's chat. So, as an asexual person myself, it has taken me a while to find that label and be comfortable with using it around people. Now, that is my personal thing. It may not be that the same way for everyone else, but a lot of people confuse it with aromantic. Now, aromantic is the lack of or inability to feel romantic attraction towards people. Asexuality, on the other hand, is the lack of or inability to feel sexual attraction towards people. Now, I am also on the aromantic spectrum. I am demi-romantic. Now, you might know what demisexual is. It's that you cannot feel sexual attraction to someone that you don't have a close connection with, already close emotional connection with. It's the same with demi-romantic, but it's just in the sense of romantic feelings. So I cannot feel a romantic attraction to someone that I don't already have an emotional connection with, a deep emotional connection with. Now, the thing I want to talk about today is what it feels like to not be able to feel sexual attraction and how that affects me as well as the people around me. Now, again, everyone's experiences are going to be different and are different, and it is our job to understand that. I understand that. And so if you disagree with this, or if you don't agree, just simply move on or continue to watch the video, but please don't attack others for having different opinions. That is not what I want this to be. So I generally find myself in the position of not understanding what people are talking about when they talk about sexual attraction, because I don't feel that. My brain is not hardwired to feel that, where most brains are. Now, everyone's is different. Some people can be like highly sexual and have a lot of sexual attraction, or some people that don't feel as though they're on the asexual spectrum can have a lower sexual attraction and sex drive. Now, I feel a lot of people are very uncomfortable with talking about sex and kind of the world that revolves around that, but society and media today does revolve around that. And so I do feel it's important to talk about it, because even though that sometimes it's an uncomfortable conversation to have, it is an important conversation, especially if you're exposed to social media like TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, Twitter, right? So, as an asexual person myself, I often feel not human. It is very dehumanizing not to be able to feel a certain emotion when your brain should be hardwired and should have that emotion in your brain. But not being able to feel that emotion can be very hard on a lot of people, and it is very hard on me, because the people that can explain what that feels like don't want to, But the people that do want to explain to me don't know how to explain it. Now, this is not me asking for you to comment and explain it to me. It would be nice. It would. But this video is about talking about that struggle that I have and how that affects me and how that affects the people around me. And so I often ask a few of my friends that I'm close to, like, what does it feel like to be sexually attracted to someone? Because I have never felt that way. I can't feel that way, and I will never feel that way. And they don't know how to explain it to me. And a lot of the times, those kinds of conversation come up, whether it just be between two people or in a group of people, and I don't know how to contribute because I don't feel the same way about anyone. And so it's a feeling of being left out that makes me struggle with my identity of being asexual. I have come into the stage where I'm comfortable with using that label, but I have not come into the stage where I have accepted that I am asexual. And a lot of the time that takes years for someone to process and completely understand. I don't completely understand myself. I am 14 years old. I have done my best with what I know and my resources that I am given to be able to find myself and label myself so that I understand myself better and that other people understand me as well. But there is that to a certain extent. Like I said, everyone feels asexuality differently. Everyone reciprocates those feelings of asexuality differently. And that does not make anyone less asexual than they say they are. Asexuality is a spectrum. There are a lot of different labels under the label and flag of asexual. And just because someone does feel sexual attraction, even if it's minimal, does not mean that they are not asexual. And it does not give you the right for you to tell them that they are not asexual based on what you know, if you have done any research. Finding yourself is hard because it's not exactly the finding yourself that is the hard part. With the media and the exposure we have now to that media, it's very often that young people like me can find themselves a lot easier and a lot quicker than people a decade older than me because they were not exposed to the same type of media that we are now. Being exposed to the media that I have been for plenty of years now has helped me expand my knowledge into more research. Just because I am younger does not mean that my labels and how I label myself are any less valid than someone 10 years older than me. Finding yourself is one of the hardest things because accepting yourself is. We all find parts of ourselves that we don't like, and our instant reaction is to want to change that. But you can't, because that's not how finding yourself works. You are putting all of your energy into changing that part of yourself when you should be putting that energy into accepting that part of yourself. Because not everyone is perfect, and not everyone is going to be perceived as perfect. And having the media we do now, we are exposed to those imperfections. And we find more of our imperfections. But then we see someone that doesn't have that imperfection. And we immediately want to change it. I have gone through that process plenty of times. And it has not done me any good. Because there is a part of myself that feels inhuman because I can't feel the things that other people do. And a lot of people don't understand that, because asexual people in the S2 LGBTQ plus community are put on a pedestal as gods because we don't feel sexual attraction. But do we really feel that way? Do we really feel like gods because we don't have an emotion and we can't feel a certain emotion, usually to a certain extent? And that, I feel, is what people need to recognize, is that not every asexual person is going to embrace asexuality the same way that I do and the same way that other people do. And because we're put on such a high pedestal, being asexual seems like a perfect thing to be. But there's a lot of struggles that a lot of people have with that and that come with that are not looked at and that are not talked about in that same media. And so this is what this first video is about, diving deeper into that media. Why are asexual people put on pedestals? Well, because they don't usually feel this thing. How do they feel about that? Yes, a lot of us play into the joke. I play into the joke. But really, when I'm talking about it in a serious form, I don't play into that joke, because it's a joke. We should not be put on pedestals higher and superior than others for not being able to feel something. Yes, we can joke about it. It's fine to joke about it. Joking can be a coping mechanism. But I don't think that it should be taken as literally as it is. It is hard for a lot of people to accept that they are asexual and to embrace that label. And then when people are saying that it is the most superior you can be in the LGBTQ plus community, is invalidating. And I'm not saying when it's taken as a joke, but I'm saying that when it's taken as literally as it is being taken at this moment in media, that this is a problem that needs to be looked at in our vast community. Now, not every part of this community is going to be looking into not taking asexual people as gods so literally, because people just don't see it as a problem when it really is. And that is the problem, is because people aren't seeing it as a problem. And then when you go to explain to someone why you feel inhuman, their immediate response is, oh, but you're a god. That's dehumanizing, and that's invalidating. Now, we're talking about this in serious context, that you are having a serious conversation with someone about being asexual and they are putting you up on a pedestal of being a god. I like being perceived as a god. I think it's cool. I think it's funny. But again, like I said, it's to a certain extent that you can take it, because of the way that it can make you feel. Obviously, a lot of the time we have more important things to talk about, but I do think it's important to bring light to this sooner rather than later, because it is going to be taken so literally that it is not going to be a joke anymore, and that is a problem. Now, I want to end this by saying that I don't think being asexual is a horrible thing, but I do think it's hard, and I do think it's harder than people perceive it as. And that is hard, because it accepting yourself with being asexual is the same as accepting yourself as being a gender or discovering a sexuality. I don't hate being asexual. Actually, I think I'd prefer it to not being asexual. Now, I know this was a pretty serious topic, and I do want to say that not all of my content will be this way, but this is something that I want to talk about, and my channel will be about things that I want to talk about and things that I want to do. Suggestions, I'm open to suggestions. I cannot come up with all the ideas on my own, but if I don't like the suggestion, then I am not going to do it. This channel will probably be mainly focused on these kind of talks, as well as like gaming, mostly Minecraft. I love Minecraft. Minecraft's great. I also want to be able to talk about what I want to talk about, and if you don't agree with it, then that's okay. But I don't want to see hate comments and attacking other people for what they see or what they believe in. Yeah. So hopefully once I figure out the gaming situation, we can go ahead and start that. But I am just starting this. Please don't expect anything really big, because it's not going to be that way, and I am sorry. Give me a few months. If it lasts that long, again, this was an impulsive decision, and I don't know how long this is gonna last. I have a tendency to be really into something for a few weeks and then completely give up on it. So we'll see, but I do have a lot of people behind the scenes encouraging me to do this, so it'll probably continue for at least a few weeks. I will probably post once a week, maybe once a week and a half, depending on schedule-wise, because I am in extracurriculars outside of school, which I am also in school, so we'll see how long this lasts. Bye.